Hello, everyone. My name is Sarah Elise, and I'm an astrologer in Toronto, Canada. It is November the 3rd, 2021, and I'm putting this video out for my community um, because tomorrow is our new moon in Scorpio. Okay, so tomorrow morning, I think it's the afternoon. It's around 5 o'clock in the afternoon, Eastern Standard. The sun and the moon will come together in Scorpio at around 12 degrees. And this is going to be a very potent new moon. The sun and moon are exactly opposite Uranus, 12-degree opposition. Uranus is at Taurus, 12 degrees. And we have Mars that has just entered Scorpio at 3 degrees. And in 2 days' time, on Friday, we're going to have Mercury enter Scorpio as well. So we've got kind of a power-packed situation here, and I want to get into some details about what Scorpio is and what the invitation of this new moon might be. Okay, I'm just going to turn my phone off so I don't get disturbed. There we go. Now, Scorpio is a very interesting archetype. Okay, it's people are used to calling Scorpio the dark and kind of scary, and it gets a little bit of a bad rap in exoteric astrology, right? Being dangerous and taboo and looking under the rocks and trying to find all the skeletons in the closet, deep dive of investigation and paranoia and all of that yummy stuff. But I want to take a look for a second about what this archetype really means at a soul level and for ourselves as human beings in our evolution. What is it that happens to us when we reach the archetype of Scorpio? What is the invitation at this new moon for each one of us? And for this month of Scorpio, where we'll have Mars, Mercury, and the Sun hanging out in Scorpio all for the next 3 weeks, okay? So Scorpio is the place in our consciousness where the soul and the personality meet each other and have a battle. It is a battlefield. That's what Scorpio is. It's that intersection point between the part of us that wants to hold on to its identity as a unique individual self, right? A me, a mine, and I want, and I have, and I am. And that part of us that is beyond the individual self, that is transpersonal in some way, that part of us that understands itself from this other place, this timelessness place, this place of immortality, this place of wholeness and inclusion, this powerful place of unification and wisdom. Okay, we each one of us, because we are human, we are the intersection of these two parts. And that's why the axis of Taurus and Scorpio is called the axis of the human being. They run on the fourth ray of harmony through conflict, which rules the fourth chakra, the heart chakra, and rules the human kingdom. We are the literal intersection of kind of the physical reality of being in a body and being quote unquote separate and unique and individual, and the part of us that is a spiritual part, right? Each one of us. And the place that these two parts meet is the heart. And we're in this constant dance as human beings, trying to find the blend, trying to find the harmony between these two parts, trying to quote unquote merge them so that we can be one whole, powerful, succinct, complete self. And that's what happens in Scorpio. Okay, it's that urge to merge. Now, on some levels, Scorpio, what it wants to merge with is other people. Okay, so sometimes the urge to merge is expressed through a desire to go outward and merge with things outside of us. A person that we want to kind of connect with and then become one with, or perhaps a symbol of power in some kind that's on the outside of us, a powerful organization or a powerful affiliation or a powerful signature or achievement, or whatever it is that represents something outside of you that you want to get and you want to go become it, or like you want to accomplish it, or you want to understand it and grow big enough to encompass it and become part of it. That's Scorpio. Okay, it's that urge to become more than what we were before. Scorpio has this innate sense of the powerlessness that comes from not being enough or understanding its own limitations and boundaries. It has this part of it that is very much about, gosh, I don't like this part of me, or I'm aware of this limitation. I don't want to be stuck inside this thing anymore. I want to grow beyond it. I want to get bigger. I want to kill this dependency, this addiction. I want to destroy this judgment system or this belief structure or this mental concept that I just can't get out of, this loop in my mind. Or I want to destroy this impoverishment or this sense of lack or this sense that I'm not enough or that I can't have what I need to survive. Whatever the belief is, whatever the limitation is, whatever the structure is that the Scorpio perceives as a limitation, they will have none of it. They want to go right inside of it with their very focused attention, and they want to burrow down into the core of it and break it apart from within and become more than it. They want to transform it. That is the power of this archetype. It's so powerful. It has the ability to prove that there is no death. There is only transformation. When you bump up against your edge of fear and you are like in a state of panic, what does that mean? What does that tell you? Does that tell you to run away, or does that tell you to stay present and wait until that electrical response, that literal neurological fear response, settles down? That will tell you a lot about how comfortable you are with Scorpio energy. Okay, I was listening, interestingly enough, this morning to a podcast. It was a 60 minutes episode from Australia. It ran about 2 months ago. And they were interviewing a very famous supermodel. Her name was, let me see, I wrote it down. Her name was, gosh, I thought I wrote it down. Bridget Malcolm. Okay, Bridget Malcolm. This is not my generation, and I kind of got over my supermodel phase when I was about 15 years old. So I didn't know who she was, but apparently she's a very famous Victoria's Secret model. Okay, and she was whistleblowing on the industry and specifically on Victoria's Secret, and she's one of the first supermodels to come forward and talk very openly about what it was like inside that industry and the abuse and the darkness and the evil that existed, like all the way to like Jeffrey Epstein, sexual harassment and abuse, rape, eating disorders, trauma, just you name it, right? And she kind of had this powerful, courageous part of her that just said, I am not going to live the rest of my life inside this prison of hell, and I'm going to stand up and make a change. Not only that, but I am going to face this darkness head on. I am going to take it on, and I am going to win because it is wrong and it needs to die. Now, she got up and she went public, and she has changed the industry. Victoria's Secret is now, quote unquote, rebranding. It's trying to save its floundering reality. It has a new CEO that is, I mean, this girl she really caused some upheaval. And I went onto the internet this morning to take a look at what her birth chart was. And guess what? Sun in Scorpio, Pluto in Scorpio. This is her nature to do this work, to go deep into the underbelly of the darkest of dark places, and then to transform it from within by being in her power, being in the light, not succumbing to the fear and to the pain, not rejecting it, but standing inside of it so strongly and with so much courage and conviction that it can't help but transform. That's what Scorpio proves to us, essentially. It proves to us that we're immortal, that our soul is more powerful than any dark creation that we could possibly come up with on this very strange, festering, weird planet in the middle of outer space, flying around. Like, there's some weird, disturbing crap on this earth right now. All of us have to face that. You have to face it outside and you have to face it inside. And the way you face the darkness is defined by your relationship to Scorpio. Okay, that's the pattern here. So the invitation at this new moon is to, well, let me just describe this. Okay, I'll piece it out for us. Okay, so we have Sun and Moon in Scorpio, bringing in the opportunity to plant a seed of transformation and power. We have Uranus in opposition, asking us to connect intuitively to that part of us that is ready to let go of our sense of what it means to be safe on the earth. What like Taurus is about security, right? So Taurus is about like being able to survive. Taurus is about declaring your right to protect yourself and to meet your needs. And Uranus in Taurus is revolutionizing our relationship with our personal resources and with survival on this earth. There needs to be an upgrade to what we consider to be kind of the currency of our planet right now, right? We've seen cryptocurrency, for instance, come online in a massive way since Uranus went into Taurus. Artificial reality is becoming like, you know, a common theme. We all kind of went online and joined the metaverse in the last 12 months since the big alignment between Saturn and Jupiter in Aquarius. And this Uranus in Taurus is helping, right? Uranus, as the ruler of Aquarius, is helping us reform our relationship to this planet, to our survival, and to what it means to be stable and grounded, right? To what our values are. So the invitation right now is to look very deep into your own value system, your own beliefs, and your own limitations, right? Taurus, where we create our limitations. To look into these places and to ask, what needs to be liberated? What do I need to be free of? And what do I need to transform and elevate to another level? Okay, this is the new moon that will give you all the strength and the power and the focus and the ferocity to do that. But lest we forget that Uranus is also it is a symbol of higher mind and intuition. So we want to be like tuning up into our higher mind and going into co-creative partnership with our intuitive self in order to kind of create a feeling of, okay, this is what I'm going to create, this is what I'm going to transform, and this is where I'm going with it, right? Always kind of elevating above and coming down onto the dark force beneath, right? To come down into it. But if you don't hold that line up, if you don't hold the line into your higher self while you're going down into the deep dive, you can get lost. You can get lost in the deep dive. You can get lost in the darkness, right? Until you can find your way out. So we don't want to get lost in the labyrinth. We want to hold the line of tension to our higher self while we go down and do the deep shadow work that this month is calling for. Okay, we want to have our awareness on. We want to have our eyes open as we go down into the darkness. That is the symbol of Scorpio's triple evolutionary structure. It goes from Scorpion to Eagle to Phoenix. Okay, what that essentially means is in the Scorpion phase, it just goes down, right? It just goes down and it's mucking around and it's figuring stuff out and it has no awareness except for the darkness, and it just engages with it and plays it out in very unconscious ways. Okay, it feels like that's what reality is. It gets stuck inside the belly of the beast, inside the separate self. Okay, at the eagle point, Scorpio is able to lift up out of it into their higher mind, into their higher self, and see what's going on. This is the psychologist. This is the ability to self-analyze and to look. Oh, I see why. I see the edge right there. I see that pattern there. I see that obsession there. Fascinating, right? And with that higher mind and that higher sight, Scorpio becomes this incredibly powerful instrument for change. But it is not until Scorpio goes down into the dark, into the miasma, into the patterns with that eagle's eye, and brings a sense of the spiritual self down into the dark places and faces them head on, that they transform, that they burn away. And from the ashes of the burnt separate self rises the phoenix, which is Scorpio in its wholeness. Okay, that's Scorpio with a with a connection between the lower and higher self. It's when Scorpio goes down into the dark from that place of awareness and transmutes what's there with its unbelievable laser focused kind of presence, right? It really doesn't have to do anything but ride the edge. Riding the edge is all that's required. You don't have to think yourself into the process. You just have to feel your way through the process. It's like transmutation at a very emotional, chemical, energetic level, right? You literally go in and hold the focus and it dissolves from inside. So that's transmutation, that's alchemy. And after you alchemize a pattern, you stand up and you are the phoenix, right? So that's the uprising of energy and the power that comes when Scorpio goes through this process. So I want you to think about that this month. And I want you to think about during your new moon, what is it that I want to elevate and liberate? What are my values that need to change? How am I making money? How am I surviving? What do I want? This is a very selfish new moon, okay? And unapologetically so. This is about becoming the most powerful you that you can be. And the energy is set up for you to take action, take serious steps, focus, and do it now. It's right there for you. So keep that in mind, play with the energy, you know, and enjoy yourself, because I think this is a potent new moon for manifestation. Okay. Now we're still dealing with a square to Saturn in Aquarius. Okay. The sun moon is squaring Saturn widely, and Uranus is definitely still squaring Saturn. So there is still this, we're all working within these, this social structure that is trying to figure itself out, right? Like our society right now is in upheaval. I mean, we're in upheaval, we really are. And so many different levels. We're trying to figure out the quote unquote rules and how things quote unquote should be. And we're also trying to figure out who we should be in order to feel safe and free and good in ourselves, what our new value system needs to be. It's like we're fighting for our lives here, people. We are having a battle with the organization that wants everything to be very clean and neat and very standardized and very organized and very collectivized. And this rebellion inside that says, no, I have a right to be myself. I have a right to survive on this earth. I have a right to protect my body. I have a right to be sovereign. And these two parts of us are having a conversation. Our desire to collectivize is real. We are all working ourselves into the age of Aquarius. We are one here. This is a collective and we need to work together. But we also need to recognize individual rights and individual sovereignty within the collective organized structure. So this new moon is going to bring up stuff for all of us on a collective level and also on an individual level. And on an individual level, though there may be structural limitations that force you to almost adjust what it is you desire to create, it doesn't mean you don't have the power right now to go in and make things happen to the best of your ability within the limitations that are existing, okay? And it's okay. And it's okay for you guys to be feeling angry and confused and emotional right now, because this is a potent, potent water moon. And there's so much Scorpio. I just want to, give you permission to feel all the feelings and to feel the frustration and to just take a deep, deep look inside and say to yourself, what is it that I need help with to transform right now? What is the limitation that I want to grow beyond? And then give yourself permission in this next month to do so. Okay. By the way, I'm starting a 4-week moon school. It starts tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern. And we're going to be going through this lunar cycle together. So we're going to be tracking each of the 8 lunar phases and working on how to bring something into manifestation through the cycle, okay, of one lunar cycle. I've kept it super affordable. It's only $80. So if anyone still wants to join, you've got some time. And I'll put my website URL at the bottom of this video if you're interested. Okay. I hope that was helpful to you all, and happy Scorpio new moon. Go out there and get deep, okay? All right. Bye.